When installing a range or cooktop in a residential setting, determining the appropriate circuit size is crucial for safety and optimal performance. The primary resource you should consult is the manufacturer's installation manual. This manual typically provides a recommended circuit size, which should be followed diligently. The manufacturer's recommendation takes into account various factors, including the appliance's power consumption, heating element characteristics, and internal wiring. It's engineered specifically for the appliance's design. If the installation manual is available, it supersedes any general calculations or rules of thumb. In situations where the manufacturer's installation manual is not available, such as with older appliances or when the manual has been lost, you can refer to the appliance's nameplate rating. The nameplate is usually located on the appliance itself, often on the back or underside. It provides essential information, including the voltage, amperage, and wattage of the appliance. This information can be used to calculate the minimum circuit size required. To determine the minimum circuit ampacity, divide the wattage by the voltage. For example, if the nameplate indicates a wattage of 12,000 watts and a voltage of 240 volts, the calculation would be 12,000 divided by 240, which equals 50 amps. This result indicates that the circuit should be rated for at least 50 amps. However, it is crucial to understand that this is a minimum requirement. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for electrical installations, while the NEC Article 220 provides methods for calculating electrical loads for services and feeders. It's generally not the primary method for determining the circuit size for a single appliance like a range or cooktop, especially when a manufacturer's recommendation is available. The NEC Article 220 is more applicable when calculating the overall load for an entire dwelling unit or a significant portion thereof. It involves considering various factors such as the square footage of the dwelling, the number of small appliance circuits, and the ratings of other fixed appliances. It is used to determine the service entrance size, the size of the main panel, and the size of feeder circuits. While the NEC Article 220 load calculations can provide a general understanding of electrical loads, they may not always be the most accurate or appropriate method for sizing the circuit for a specific appliance. Manufacturers' recommendations are generally more specific to the appliance's characteristics. It is always best practice to consult the manufacturer's installation manual first. If the manual is unavailable, you can use the nameplate rating as a secondary source of information. Consider also local electrical codes or regulations, which may have specific requirements for range and cooktop installations. To ensure a safe and reliable installation, select wiring with the correct ampacity rating. The ampacity of a conductor is its current carrying capacity, measured in amps. The NEC Article 310 provides tables that specify the ampacity of various conductors based on their size, insulation type, and installation conditions. For example, Table 310.16 provides ampacity ratings for conductors installed in raceways or cables. When selecting wiring, it is essential to consider the ambient temperature and any directing factors that may apply. Directing factors are adjustments to the ampacity rating to account for factors such as high ambient temperatures or multiple conductors bundled together. High ambient temperatures can reduce the ampacity of a conductor, as the conductor's resistance increases with temperature. When multiple conductors are bundled together in a raceway or cable, the heat generated by each conductor can raise the overall temperature, also requiring directing. The NEC provides tables and guidelines for applying directing factors in various situations. It's important to choose the appropriate type of wiring for the installation. Common types of wiring used for range and cooktop circuits include non-metallic sheath cable, also known as NM cable, and individual conductors installed in conduit. NM cable is commonly used in residential wiring and consists of two or more insulated conductors enclosed in a non-metallic sheath. It is relatively easy to install and is suitable for dry locations. Individual conductors installed in conduit provide a more robust and durable wiring system. Conduit protects the conductors from physical damage and environmental factors. It is often required in commercial and industrial installations. The choice of wiring type will depend on the specific installation conditions and local electrical codes. Proper grounding is crucial for electrical safety. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker or fuse and preventing electrical shock. The NEC requires that all electrical equipment be properly grounded. The grounding conductor should be sized according to the NEC Table 250.122, which provides minimum sizes for equipment grounding conductors based on the size of the overcurrent protective device. The grounding conductor should be connected to a grounding electrode system, which typically consists of a ground rod or a metal water pipe that is in direct contact with the earth for at least 10 feet. Overcurrent protection is essential for preventing overloads and short circuits. Overcurrent protective devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to interrupt the flow of current when it exceeds a safe level. The size of the overcurrent protective device should be coordinated with the ampacity of the wiring. The NEC Article 240 provides guidelines for overcurrent protection. Generally, the overcurrent protective device should not exceed the ampacity of the wiring it protects. However, there are exceptions to this rule, such as when the wiring is used to supply motor loads or when the appliance has specific overcurrent protection requirements. The NEC provides specific rules for these situations. When installing a range or cooktop, it is essential to use the appropriate wiring methods and materials. This includes using approved connectors, fittings, and boxes. All connections should be made securely and properly insulated. Wiring should be protected from physical damage and environmental factors. The installation should comply with all applicable codes and regulations. If you are not familiar with electrical work, it is recommended to hire a qualified electrician to perform the installation. Electrical work can be dangerous, and improper installation can lead to electrical shock, fire, or other hazards. A qualified electrician has the knowledge and experience to perform the installation safely and correctly. They will also be familiar with local codes and regulations and can ensure that the installation complies with all requirements. Remember that electrical codes and regulations can vary depending on the location. It is essential to check with your local electrical authority to ensure that you are complying with all applicable requirements. Obtaining the necessary permits before starting any electrical work is also crucial. Permits ensure that the installation is inspected and approved by the local electrical authority. This helps to ensure that the installation is safe and complies with all applicable codes and regulations. In summary, when installing a range or cooktop, follow these steps. Firstly, consult the manufacturer's installation manual for the recommended circuit size. Secondly, if the manual is unavailable, refer to the appliance's nameplate rating. Thirdly, calculate the minimum circuit ampacity based on the nameplate rating. Fourthly, select wiring with the appropriate ampacity rating. Fifthly, ensure proper grounding. Sixthly, provide overcurrent protection. Seventhly, use appropriate wiring methods and materials. Eighthly, comply with all applicable codes and regulations. Ninthly, obtain the necessary permits. And tenthly, if you are not familiar with electrical work, hire a qualified electrician. By following these steps, you can ensure a safe and reliable range or cooktop installation.